The Ahmadiyya Muslim Community always strives to promote the true message of Islam. On the 3rd of February 2018, the community's Voice of Islam radio station held their first annual conference at the Baitul Futuh Mosque complex. The Voice of Islam radio station was formally inaugurated by His Holiness Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, in 2016. The program began with a recitation of the Holy Quran.
ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا,
followed by a welcome address given by Imam Atal Mujib Rashid Sahib.
And a time will inshallah come, I am very sure, that this voice of Islam will really and truly become the voice of Islam in the whole world. Because Ahmadiyyat is the one which is presenting the voice of Islam. And this will become a mouthpiece of Ahmadiyyat in that form.
The conference featured various presentations and speeches on a range of topics from various speakers.
Now, the target audience is not the internal Jamaat. MTA does a perfectly good function talking to the internal Jamaat world. Ours is an external focus.
The most recent development or the most recent improvement that we've done, and that is something that was across the board with all live shows, is that we have started to include 3 quotes from the Holy Quran, 3 quotes from the Ahadith, 3 quotes of the Promised Messiah, and 3 quotes of Hazur Anwar Aidullah Ta'ala ibn Aziz.
Some of the things that we discuss were the topics of these programs, how they can be made in such a way that they are not time sensitive, and secondly, they are topics that we can come back to and relate to.
Topics included Ofcom compliance and data protection by Adal Qudus Muddin Saab.
As broadcasters, as you are well aware and should be, that Ofcom is the main broadcast regulator in the UK, and they regularly inspect and check programs, and they respond to complaints from people in the general public and investigates any issues.
The role of social media by Bisharat Nazir Saab.
So, we are taking advantage of both. We are getting the higher exposure which is available to us by just using the same account. It's also easier for our users because they were having to go to different accounts to find out what was happening. Now everything is available at a single time.
And a speech followed by a question and answer session with Abid Khan Saab.
One particular key lesson that I've learned from Hazur is that we must never exaggerate or give a false representation of the facts. Even if we think there's nothing wrong with it, we have to be very, very careful and remain loyal to the truth no matter what. It's the same when you're broadcasting on Voice of Islam. The thing is that, of course, it's our job to portray the Jamaat and highlight its qualities and the khidmat we're doing, the amount of mosques we're opening, the humanitarian services, but never go beyond what is true.
The attendees then broke out into workshops and discussion sessions focusing on the radio's various technical, production, promotion and administrative departments. The final session included an awards ceremony to recognise some of the hard-working members of the various Voice of Islam teams, and were presented by the National President of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community UK, Mr. Rafiq Ahmed Hayat. Respected National President spoke on the importance of the Voice of Islam radio and gave guidance to the attendees in his concluding address.
I know where we have weaknesses. Immediately I try and attend to them. We've made some changes to try and address them. And I'm certain that inshallah with experience, because sometimes we have new people coming in, sometimes the experience is not there, we will see the standard improving more and more each year. And the whole, as Kaleem was saying, who is our target audience? The purpose of this radio station was that it would be a radio station targeted to the indigenous population of this country. I am very pleased that, alhamdulillah, I feel that we are achieving a good standard. Not an excellent standard, but a good standard.
The event was concluded with a silent prayer. This report is brought to you from MT International, UK Studios in London.